Testing, testing, testing.
Test, test, 1, 2, test, 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 test. All right. Make sure that's working. you know, as always, once the national anthem's over, then you turn me on and we'll. As we welcome you outside here to the Viterbo Outdoor Athletic Complex for this Saturday afternoon Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference bout between the 8-1 St. Ambrose Fightin' Bees and the 4-1-2 Viterbo V-Hawks. Hello again, everybody. I'm Cooper Lipsky. Glad you can be joining us here at the Outdoor Athletic Complex for this CCAC conference bout. Both teams enter perfect 1-0 in conference play. St. Ambrose coming off of a victory against St. Francis, 2-0 in that one. And for Viterbo coming off of a 2-1 victory over St. Xavier to open up their respective conference schedules. But it looks to be a fun one here this afternoon. Both teams in the top 3 when it comes to scoring this season, as St. Ambrose with 24 goals to 11 goals allowed. It's the most goals scored in the conference. And the other side for Viterbo, 16 goals scored to 10 goals allowed. Take a look at the starting lineups in this one, starting with the away squad. Chad Holmer makes 3 changes from the Wednesday matchup with St. Francis. It'll be Yegi in goal, the captain, then McGeese, Olendik, Daly, Ronconi, and Stevens, the back 5 defensively. Then the midfield consisting of Pelodipa, Kong Sapaisen, and Sue Gomez. And then up front, a very dynamic attacking presence of Ferbeiri and Simon, as both of those two scoring in the last 2 matches. Simon has currently scored 3 in his last 3. Take a look at Viterbo, as Roberto Yepes will line up his squad, only making 1 change from the Wednesday match against St. Xavier, with Ethan Stewart coming on. He'll make the start in this one. Perot-Wiet, Holstein, and Torres making up the back line, with Puertas, Ketsu, and Acosta in the midfield, and then the attacking 3 of Jankowskis, Paquette Oliveira, and Eichhorn in this one this afternoon. But as we say, a lot on the line here, a conference bout. Both teams really running the gauntlet of the non-conference schedule. Viterbo does have a non-con coming up against Columbia, Missouri, but before that they have a match on Tuesday against Indiana Northwest. For St. Ambrose, it's Olivet Nazarene and Holy Cross. Both teams looking for a victory here this afternoon. Should be a fun one. We got a couple of the conference-leading goal scorers in Jake Pollock and Jakubis Jankowskis for both sides facing off with one another. Got to mention Joaquin Eichhorn. He's also top 5 in the conference with 4 goals scored this season. He's tied up there with Josh Simon. So it should be an entertaining bout here this afternoon, as Viterbo in the white kits. They'll be moving from left to right on your screen. And for the Fightin' Bees, they'll be in the navy blues, going from right to left. Kickoff and underway here from the Viterbo Outdoor Athletic Complex. This one played forward to Ferbeiri. Ferbeiri had himself a pretty good match the other night against Hannibal LaGrange, a pair of assists and a goal, the game-winning goal in that contest 2 matches ago for St. Ambrose. Now trying to push forward with it. Up the right side is Eichhorn. Tries to play it forward. Succeeds to Paquette Oliveira. Tries a ball in. Nobody there. As Acosta floats this one and is able to find Jankowskis on the near side. Played out of bounds, and it'll result in a corner here for Viterbo right from the jump. So some of the names we're going to have to keep an eye out for in this one. Simon and Ferbeiri for the Fightin' Bees, and Jankowskis and Eichhorn for Viterbo on the goal-scoring aspects of this one. Get Dawson Yegi, one of the best goal keepers in the conference so far this season. As a cross comes into the near post, it's left loose till it's finally cleared out. Good in ball by Acosta. He'll retain it on the far side of the pitch. Tries another ball into the box. This one headed out. Cleared by McGeese. Played as far back as now Puertas trying a ball in. That one goes out of bounds. And a result in a goal kick here for Yegi. But talk about Dawson Yegi a little bit. 38 saves. That's 5th best in the conference. And the 4th best save percentage, entering at 78% entering this match here this afternoon. Peter Caleno, the opposite goaltender for Viterbo, has only given up about 6 goals in the last 5 contests. As a little chip forward, headed on in. 3 minutes into the match, quick build-up. Viterbo able to get one on the board from Pipa. Joaquin Eichhorn nets home his 5th goal of the 2025 season. And it is 1-0 Viterbo. Jankowskis picks up the assist in there. That's his 3rd assist of the season. We told you that those two would be the ones to watch for Viterbo, and now St. Ambrose having to play from behind. St. Ambrose coming in, winners of 4 of their last 5 matches, so I figure it'll be a matter of time before we see them try to get one in the back of the net, and already pressing forward here. St. Ambrose a perfect 7-0 at home this season, only 2 matches away, and that is where they've picked up their only loss of the season against Grandview as the strike comes in, rolled over to Colenio as he easily gathers that one up. But in the 3rd minute of the match, Joaquin Eichhorn able to head one home from the assist from Jankowskis to make it 1-0 Viterbo here. Wonderful start for Roberto Yepes' squad in this one, not to mention also really good start to the season, 4-1-2. Best start since 2020, or I believe 2012 is what I meant to write, where they started 7-0. No, I would be right. 2022, where they started a perfect 7-0 in their first 7 matches of the campaign. But not a bad start for Viterbo so far this season. This long ball played to the far side. It's now going up the left side. Like to play it back to Perot-Wiet. Gets it all the way back to Ted Holstein. Ball played in over the top. Back heel flick on by Jankowskis. Able to play it down. Looking for somebody to give it off to. Tries to take it himself now. Getting past Olendik. Till it's tipped out of bounds, resulting in another corner. Just a nice little chip over the top. He's able to play it off of his back foot. Able to play it down. The defense for St. Ambrose remaining tough. Looks like Acosta will play this corner. 2nd corner of the afternoon for Viterbo. They lead 1-0 here from the Outdoor Athletic Complex. Ball played to the back post. Headed down and in again. Ted Holstein able to get his head on that corner from Acosta. And Viterbo up by 2 goals in the first 5 minutes. Holstein, the sophomore out of Stockholm, Sweden, able to knock home his first goal of the season. Talk about setting the tone early against St. Ambrose. Going up by 2 goals in the first 6 minutes of this match. Not bad whatsoever for Yepes' V-Hawk squad here this afternoon. Beautiful afternoon for some soccer. Oktoberfest weekend here in La Crosse. Our rules analyst, Noe, he came up here, he said, we'll get a win and then the party begins. And I'm hoping for it. Well, for Noe to have a good night, right? Jankowski's pressing forward. He is cut off by Daly. He's able to play this for a throw-in on the far side. Here in the here in the 53rd minute, I'm way off. Here in the 8th minute of the match. Viterbo able to put up 2 goals, making it 2-0. Ball played to the near side. No flag as Torres able to get to it. He remains onside. He's going to try cutting in to the box on his left foot, trying to play it down. Here is Ketsuk, has it cleared away. As far back as the most recent goal scorer in Ted Holstein. Holstein does have an assist this season, but big for him to get that first goal. Make it 2-0 Viterbo. It's Acosta fighting for it. He brings down Ronconi. And a foul called and a foul given. McGee's to take this free kick. .37 minutes left to play here in the first half. But Viterbo with a statement, 2 goals in the first 6 minutes. One in the third by Joaquin Eichhorn, assisted by Jankowskis. And then another one in the 6th minute. Ted Holstein with a header from a corner. Floated in by Sebastian Acosta. Looking for more here. Here's Eichhorn. The right side has it chipped over the top. He's able to get to it, cleared out for what will be a corner. As McGee's plays this one out of bounds and making his way over to take the corner here. This one from the near corner will be Paquette Oliveira. The right foot, ball played in on the front foot by the near post. This one dragged just wide, as able to get to it was Ketsuk. Trying to get it in the very tight window there on the near corner, as Yegi was playing that near post. We talk about how great a start of the season it's been for St. Ambrose, however, not 8-1. Their best start through 7 matches, well, up until the last 2, as this one played 4. They played 9 total, more than anybody else in the conference, majority of those being non-conference bouts. Some of the opponents, the same as Viterbo, Dakota Wesleyan, Mount Mercy, Upper Iowa. And while Viterbo has 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 loss against all 3 of those opponents, the Fightin' Bees have 3 wins. 2-1 win over Dakota Wesleyan, 3-1 over Mount Mercy, and 3-1 over Upper Iowa. For Viterbo, a 5-0 victory over Dakota Wesleyan, a 1-1 draw to Mount Mercy, and a 3-1 loss to Upper Iowa. Of course, Upper Iowa being Division II, part of the GLIAC. Ball thrown in from the near side. Played down and played back. Still a bad pass taken away. Here come Viterbo once again. Eichhorn on the right side. Plays it back. Able to get it to Torres. Tries to play it further back as Holstein has it deflected. Now here goes Fiberi into the 18-yard box. Tries to lay one forward. Can't pick out his man in Simon. And now Viterbo looking to break forward. Good ball forward to Paquette Oliveira if he can get to it. Great in defense. He's able to retain it, however. Looking for some help. Tries to find Jankowskis till it's cleared out. Not out of the woods yet are the Fightin' Bees. Ball curled in, looking for somebody. Nobody to be found. As Sue Gomez flicks this one forward. Holstein plays it back to Peter Kalenia. Viterbo looking for what would be their third home win of the season. 2 wins and a loss. Those wins against Dakota Wesleyan, a historic victory over Carleton, and then a loss to Upper Iowa. And that's how it currently sits out. But no win bigger than a conference win against an 8-1-0 squad. Ball played over the top. Flag is up, however, as Eichhorn puts a shot on goal. 2-0 Viterbo here from the Outdoor Athletic Complex for Viterbo. Belodipa tried getting to it. Kong Sapaisen, one of the great names. Narnim Kongsapaisen from Bangkok, Thailand. Played down to the far side for Bayri. Has it taken away, however. The reigning CCAC Offensive Player of the Week after that performance against Hannibal LaGrange, where had himself 2 assists in the game-winning goal in that one. Eichhorn elects to play it back for Viterbo. Holstein, Simon pressuring him. Mentioned Simon with 4 goals this season. He has scored in each of his last 3 contests. If he does it here, it'll be 4 out of 4 matches for those goals. He gets a start up top with Furberry. There's Jake Pollock, a big name. Not in the starting 11 here this afternoon, but I imagine at some point we'll see him. The leading goal scorer in the conference, right? Keep his secret weapon on the bench to begin. Imagine at some point this one gets out of hand here in the first half. Turbo able to put up 2 goals, as we mentioned, in the first 7 minutes of the contest. Played back to Colanio. Simon remains hovering around up front for the Fightin' Bees. Is Holstein going to take this himself all the way to midfield to play it back? .30 minutes left to play here in the first half. It's about 16th minute of the contest. Turbo up 2-0 here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. And a pretty good day except for the wind, as Jankowski is going to be marked offsides. The Lithuanian international talked about his under 19 Euro call-up for the qualification. Scored a goal against Belgium. And he has put in a stellar freshman campaign for Viterbo this season. Now streaking up the near side. Ball comes in. It's played out and taken away. Ricardo Roncani trying to break forward with that one. Roncani from Sao Paulo, Brazil. As ball left loose for Simon. Simon trying to flick it forward to Faberi. Viterbo defense too tough right now. Now on the attack. Here comes Perowied. Lays it on for Jankowskis. As a chip looking for Eichhorn. He's going to be offside. That's the second time for him here this afternoon. Another name to note for the Fightin' Bees would be Jorn Reck, the senior out of Koblenz, Germany. So he currently leads the conference with 4 assists, and he is not in the starting 11 here this afternoon. Did make the start in the midweek bout against St. Francis, as well as Pollock. You're sitting pretty in first place with 3 points on the conference table. Imagine there's a method to the madness of keeping those 2 on the bench to start. As a tackle against Mateo Torres by Ricardo Roncani, takes him down, and that'll give way to a free kick here. About 27 minutes left to play here in the first half. Viterbo with 2 goals right at the start of this one. Torres likes to play it back to Puertas, wearing the captain's armband. To the far side, as Jankowskis cuts in, chips it up, looking for somebody, and nobody's there. Now coming to get it is Eichhorn. Eichhorn now returns the favor just over Jakubis's head. And Viterbo unable to get a shot on goal and what was looking to be a very good attack. See if the Fightin' Bees can respond here. Now to the near side it goes to Roncani. Roncani tries to put a shot on goal, but he's cut off. Great in defense there on the back line for Viterbo. Torres able to cut him off. Kalenic collects, and he'll drop this one and give it off to Holstein. Plays it forward to Puertas, trying to pick out Jankowskis. Has it taken away for Beiri. On the right side, has it taken away. Holstein now. Flicks it on over to Perowiet. Now gives it to Stewart. Tried breaking forward. Main's on their half, a ball out of bounds as Acosta tried to keep it from going out of bounds. Result in a throw-in for the Fighting Bees on the far side. I'll say I'm end up getting sunburnt up here, you know. Sitting in the sun, there's no clouds whatsoever. It's a little hazy, I'd say, but I don't think that's any problem. It's now pressing forward for St. Ambrose is McGeeus. Tried to find a Fightin' Bee, but could not pick one out. That one taken away. They'll press forward once again. As a shot comes in, Kalenic can't stop it. And a goal for Dylan Olendik. Olendik's first goal of the season cuts the Viterbo lead in half. It's now 2-1. Here in the 21st minute is what it is going to be the time of goal. Took it himself up the right side, then cut in. With a thunderous strike from the left foot, and Kalenic unable to get a finger on it. Only his second shot on goal. Now Viterbo looking to respond as this one headed down on the back line by Olendik. Gets by him, however. Jankowskis now able to flick it forward. Just outside the box, ball comes in. It's deflected right into the mitts of Yankee. Incredibly enough, quick reflex is able to collect that one. You know, with how potent the Fighting Bee offense is, you only suspected it was a matter of time before they find the back of the net. In fact, St. Ambrose has not been shut out whatsoever this season. Even in their one and only loss to Grandview, they were able to score a goal in a 3-1 draw or 3-1 loss. Played forward to Eichhorn. They're going to say he's offside for a third time here in the first half. And just a tad bit too excited. Got 23 minutes left to play here in the first half. First of two matches here from the Outdoor Athletic Complex to follow after the V-Hawks women's soccer squad taking on Trinity Christian, the reigning NCCAA national champs. Should be a fun one there as Eichhorn tries to float this one in, and a shot attempt by Paquette Oliveira. I believe the flag was up, however, on his run. As coming off is Roncani, and the new man on, Hunter Leal. Leal, a junior out of Burlington, Iowa, attended Burlington Notre Dame High School. Mezacosta lays it forward for Eichhorn. Eichhorn centers it, comes loose. Here is Jankowskis. Has himself an assist and a goal now. And another stellar afternoon for Jokubas Jankowskis. He's now tied for the conference lead with 6 goals. Sitting right next to the Fighting Bees, Jake Pollock. 3-1 Viterbo here in the first half. First, he set up Eichhorn for the first goal, then Eichhorn returns the favor, setting up Jankowskis for the third goal of the match. Say we have Johan Hamstrung on for switch with Paquette Oliveira. Alvaro Paquette Oliveira. So now we got that settled. Tell you, I think we do have another headset if you want it. We just plug it in. It is right in the celebration of the goal. They're like, we're going to put a guy on real quick. So Hamstrung is on for Paquette Oliveira. Be working up front for Viterbo here. Has now an opportunity here for St. Ambrose. Simon tries to get a shot on his right foot, has it deflected, and it's going to be picked up by Andriy Ketsuk. Like to play it along the back defensive line here. Got a 2-goal advantage. Played into the midfield. Here's Johan Hamstrung. Has it taken away. It's now Kungsu Pitsan. Or Kungsu Paisen. Has it taken away. Now here's Jankowskis once again up the left side. On his right foot. Lays it forward. Armstrong. Can he? Not quite. It's collected by Jankowskis. Jankowskis able to clean it up. He started the whole thing. And then he's able to finish it with a pulverizing strike. Almost put a hole in the back of the net. 4-1 Viterbo. 7th goal for him now this season. My goodness. You ask yourself, what's he doing playing here? Doing moves like that. But it's been a joy to watch him, so I'm glad he's here. Turbo able to put up 4 goals here against St. Ambrose. Be the most goals Viterbo has St. Ambrose has given up in a match this season, and we're not even done with the first half yet. Even in their lone loss at Grandview 3-1, and then they gave up 3 goals to Hannibal LaGrange. And Viterbo has put up 4 in one half. Play it back to Torres, to Acosta. It was a prime opportunity for Johan Hamstrom on that most recent attack. Could have had himself his first goal. Great ball forward to pick out Jankowskis. He remains onside, waiting for some reinforcement. Looking for the hat trick. As here's Ketsu crossing in. My apologies, Ethan Stewart there on the far side who fed that ball in. It's a great ball to him, however. It's so used to calling Jankowskis there on the left side that just kind of assume nothing against Mr. Stewart. He's put in a great shift here, first half. Got to give credit where credit's due. You know, we got the binoculars up here. As you can hear that wind pick up. 4-1 Viterbo in front here from the Viterbo Outdoor Athletic Complex here on the V-Hawk Sports Network. Cooper Lipsky, glad you could be joining us. It's another opportunity here for St. Ambrose as that one cleared out. Trying to get to it to keep it in from going out of bounds is Miguez. Little flick on, trying to pick out Sue Gomez. He remains tough with it. It's taken down, a foul called, as I'll say that Eichhorn got a bit too much of Sue Gomez. "17 minutes left to play in the first half. A flurry of goals, 2 of which by Jakubis Jankowskis. Most recently, the last 2, one in the 24th and one in the 25th minute. Also has himself assists. You know, say as well as he's been playing, it's a shame they haven't given him the Conference Player of the Week yet. And I think with a performance like this one, I think he's well on his way. An assist and 2 goals as Sue Gomez stands over this ball. Ball played to the near post and cleared out. My apologies, it was McGeeus standing over it. Another foul call result in a goal kick here for Peter Colenio. They'll give Johan Hamstrom the assist for the most recent goal. For him, it will be his first assist of the season. He was a strike away from his first goal, but he'll pick up the points anyhow. Ball played over the top as Eichhorn trying to race after it. Gets a head down on it. Ball remains loose. Racing over to collect it is Daly. He's able to beat up to it. But a great slide there by Eichhorn Forced that one out of bounds. Result in a throw in deep in the corner as a couple of subs checking on now for St. Ambrose here with 15, 16 minutes left in the opening half. Joe Campbell for Dylan Olendik and Berto Medrano for Josh Simon. The two lone subs entering, not quite. There's a couple more coming through. Charlie Leinert for Luis Verbeeri and Kai Yoshikane for Matthias Magias. So there be the subs now for, assume, the rest of the second half here. A quick timeout called as a man is down. And Polvios Pelodipa, all the way from Limassol, Cyprus. Little country in the Mediterranean. We have a stoppage once more. The clock is going to run, but got to get the ball right where the referee wants it. Acosta will take this to get us back playing. Try to get this one into the box. It's headed down. We're trying to clean it up. Loose for the time being till Ketsuk collects. It's back to Perot Ouied, the Frenchman. Chip forward, and offsides is going to be Hamstrom here. Four to 1 the score, however. Viterbo in front. Eichhorn with a goal, Holstein with a goal, and Jakubis Jankowskis with two in this one. Fight B's from Dylan Olendik able to dispatch one in the back of the net, and they're looking for a second here to try to cut that lead in half. It's Medrano plays it out of bounds on the near side. Will not be a corner. Throw in now for Joe Campbell. Gets it in quickly to Yoshikane. Out of bounds once again. Another throw-in. As able to step in front of it is Puertas to head it away. Eichhorn flings it forward. Hamstrom able to run after it. Up the right side, now cuts inward. Back out to Eichhorn. 13 minutes left here in the first half. Turbo was able to put 5 past St. Ambrose last season in the win. Eichhorn trying to stay on side as ball played forward for him. Can he keep it in bounds? He can. Able to get to it. And he'll be out for a corner. Great in defense there by Yoshikane. Yoshikane from Christchurch, New Zealand. Able to slide after that one and get in front of it. Be a corner here as a trio of subs appear to be checking on for Viterbo. About 12 minutes left to play here in the first half. Sebastian Ortiz on for Sebastian Acosta, Ronmel Alfaro for Jakubis Jankowskis, and Felix Lindemark for Joaquin Eichhorn. As Hamstrom set to take this corner. Gets on his right foot, a low ball, turn on goal, but over the crossbar. Quite the opportunity. We saw that earlier from the same spot. From Ketsuk, trying to nail home his first goal of the afternoon. Does have himself 3 goals this season. Time to see what the subs can do here for the latter half of this first half. Just trying to keep it at a 4-1 lead. Of course, you can always make that lead a little bit larger, and I assume that head coach Roberto Yepes would be okay with that. Seen the sub score before. Seen Ronmel Alfaro in that match against Carleton, I believe it was. A massive win for the squad there, and this Viterbo squad right now playing really good football. Torres able to play it down on the near side. As his passage blocked off by Joe Campbell, he'll like to play it toward the midfield. Clenio out wide to Perot-Wiet. His pass forward is deflected. He's able to retain it and sling it back to Clenio. Punt this one away. 10 minutes remain here from the Viterbo Outdoor Athletic Complex. Bash and Ortiz trying to get to it. It's flicked forward to Joe Campbell. Campbell lays it on. Yoshikane fighting with a trio of V-Hawks until it's taken away. Viterbo trying to break forward now. Puertas is taken down, and it's cleared out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Viterbo. Puertas talking to the referee, wondering why he doesn't get the foul called for him, as Hamstrom collects for the moment till it's punted forward and punted right back. Right out of bounds. Good stop by the fan down there. Had to get his foot up. Coming right at him. Here with about 9 minutes left to play in the opening half. 4-1 Viterbo in front. A masterful performance in the first half, as they look to make their lead a little larger. This one left loose, scooped up. Here's Elias Coughlin. Drifted in, has it taken away, and a ball over top. Trying to get to it, able to chest it down is Ortiz. Ortiz trying to find Alfaro. Alfaro in the box. Cuts in on his right, remains on his feet. Deflected, loose, and Ortiz can't put it away. An opportunity, surely they wish they had back. Alfaro, credit to him, really stuck with it to try to get that one in. You're dealing with one of the best goal stoppers in Dawson Yegi. Is able to get to that one. A little bit of a shaky start for him with those 4 goals, but playing a lot better in the last 10 minutes, I'd say. Alfaro able to get to it, cleared back to Holstein. Picking it up on midfield is Gus Stevens. Both teams stationary. So you think there's a ball forward, and then it gets punted away, and another block, and Viterbo, I mean, it'll do much of the same. They'll try to push it forward as Alfaro. Flag stays down for now, and now fighting for it, and a foul called as Charlie Leinard playing tough defensively. Four to 1 the score, Viterbo in front. 7:42 left here in the first half. Appears to be another sub checking on in now. Take a look back at some of the goals in this one for both sides. It started right away in the 3rd minute with Joaquin Eichhorn, assisted by Jankowskis. As Clenio comes out to retrieve it. And then it was Sebastian Acosta setting up Ted Holstein on a corner. Great ball into him. And Holstein, the Swede, able to get to it. Make it 2-1, but St. Ambrose will get a goal back with Dylan Olendiek. Able to power one in with his left foot from distance. A great shot for him. Big way to get your first goal of the season. And then, Kubas Jankowskis really took over. 2 goals in 2 minutes for him to make it a 4-1 lead. Got a whole other half to play, and then a whole nother game to play after this. Women's soccer for Viterbo. They look to remain undefeated in conference play. They're looking for what would be their 4th win in a row. Big conference bout against Trinity Christian. I'll have that for you here on the VLX Sports Network. Watching on the YouTube, wherever you're watching. Glad you're joining us here on this Saturday afternoon, or wherever you're listening from. If it's, we've got some international followers, whether it's nighttime out in Europe or early morning in Asia, maybe in Mexico, Brazil. That's probably a lot the same time as us, because that's straight south of us. Here from La Crosse, Wisconsin, Central Standard Time Zone. In fact, probably a little bit more east, I assume, maybe a couple hours ahead. An hour or two, yeah. Five minutes left to play here in the first half. Sitting here in the 41st minute, Viterbo trying to set up a 5th goal here. Torres gets it all the way back to Perovien. Picks out Puertas in the midfield. Tries to get it forward, finding Torres. Torres trying to get Sebastian Ortiz running. Chases after it, knocks down Kai Yoshikane. Out of bounds, and it'll result in a corner here for Viterbo. Looks like they'll give the corner to Ronmel Alfaro here. Raises his hand. Viterbo's already got 1 goal out of a corner. Nothing from the near corner, however, closest to us. This one's deflected right back to Alfaro. Tries to curl it in once more. Can he get to it? Holstrom was on the run, but Yagi able to collect it. Puertas taken down, resulting in a foul. Official put his hand in his pocket, but I don't think he'll take out a card or nothing. Be a free kick, a spot kick here for Viterbo. Dangerous area to put it as well. Samstrom stands over it. Trying to get this one into the box. Plenty of Viterbo white jerseys in there. St. Ambrose in the blue. Trying to keep it out. 2 up front on the line, that being Hunter Leal, Charlie Leinert. Ball curled in directly into the head of a St. Ambrose defender. Played down and played back for Viterbo. Ortiz Tries to chip it forward. Looked like he had in the run of Holstein going forward, but is a little bit too far in front of him. Ball played all the way forward for St. Ambrose. Trying to fight for it is Berto Medrano. Played all the way back to Colenio, who skies this one to midfield. Now Viterbo here with 2 minutes left in the first half. Perhaps looking for one more. Alfaro able to get to it. He's on side, tries to cut in, and it's taken away. Great defensive possession there by Matthew Daly. Really fighting for it, able to win that ball and able to push up field. Ball out of bounds and result in a throw-in for Viterbo. Throw-in comes in, finding Hamstrom. Tries flicking it forward. Pick out Puerta. Now it's taken away. Here come the Fighting Bees. It's Campbell trying to flick it over the top, and Colenio able to get to it before Hunter Leal could get a foot on it. One of his better stops here in this one this afternoon. As Alfaro tries to flick it on for Hamstrom. Able to beat him to it is Charlie Leinert, able to play it out as far as Lindemark. Ketsuk. Final 30 seconds here in the first half as Ortiz now on his right foot, lays it forward. Torres tries to pick out Alfaro, but bolstering that defensive back line, trying to seal everything off right now, St. Ambrose. Down to the final 5 seconds. Ortiz tries a ball forward. It's headed away, and that'll do it for the first half. A first half full of goals, 5 in total, 4 from Viterbo. It's been the Jakubis Jankowskis show. He's got himself 2 goals and 1 assist so far in this one, as now he sits alone with 7 goals this season, which sits on top of the conference overall statistical leaderboard. Got some work to do for the Fightin' Bees. Their lone goal coming from Dylan Ollendiek. But other than that, Viterbo remains in front 4-1. We'll be back in about 15 minutes for the start of the second half. 4-1 Viterbo on the V-Hawk Sports Network.
Yeah, I was like trying not to like make it obvious. You do it really shaded. See if you can get me a water. Looks like that place is open down there. Oh, it should be open now, yeah.
You want a water? Or are you going to go down there and sit up here?
I'll get you some.
It's on the house, right?
Yeah, it is for us. I hope. They're charging us for water. Nah, I think I'm good. You're good? Thank you. That's lit. That's how I felt with classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still went to that shit. But my siblings came over this weekend, so I'm probably gonna go out. Probably told this.
Oh, of course, you gotta show them the surroundings. Here's a good guy winner. He's so dope. Oh, what's your fun stuff? Others too so dope. What about this? What about this?
He's from Mexico.
From Mexico.
Yeah, it's a random club. It's a pretty sick jersey, isn't it? That's what I'm saying.
Retro.
Yeah, that's why I wore it. I was like, yeah, that's nice. Plus, I knew it was gonna be bright out here, so.
Yeah. How'd you get it?
I was playing for a Sunday league team, and they were like, "Do you want this?" And I was like, "Sure." Yeah, I mostly just joined random Sunday league teams for like free jersey.
Yeah.
It's like as long as I get a free jersey, I'm involved.
So next week under a new name with Dave, and I'll be like, no, I wasn't here last week.
Exactly, yeah. These chairs are.
Oh, dude. Gotta stand for a little bit. You gotta sit. And your legs get tired. Never any cycle.
Yeah, and when you sit, look at my chair.
You got nothing right there. I'm excited. I like it. Now it's a little bit better than the obscure. You came to show that one girl how to run.
Oh yeah, yeah, I do remember.
It was like there was like 4 goals and there was like 5 goals in like 6 minutes to like start the match. It was like,
It was more exciting than that. Because I remember practicing, I was like hearing them scream, and I was like, what the? I don't know why. It seemed like our team right now was like trying not to score more.
we've had. I mean, there's been
But knowing my coach, I know he probably won't do it. Why don't you guys 7-0 by now? That's so slow. I think last year the highest we've ever had was like 13-1.
I did write that down. So 13 goals last year. That's the thing. It's like sometimes you come over the stat where it's like last year, the most they scored in the match or whatever, but then there's that outlier of like, well, technically outside of the 13-0 match against Calumet, this is the most goals they scored outside of that one.
Calumet's easy, like, or any team that's the most goals.
So I think these guys scored like 9 last year out of Calumet.
I don't know how that school's like still running.
Yeah, they're bad at like. I remember in basketball last year, they were dead last, like both men's and women's. It's like they just like.
I don't know. They're athletics. I remember watching their stats like for any sport. I was like, wow, they're just
bad at everything.
They're really just assign anyone with feet.
I remember Viterbo. I remember a buddy. He went to Viterbo, and he was talking to me because I was doing the games last spring, and he's like, "Is their baseball team any good?"
don't think they're that bad at all.
I think they finished like 19-19 versus like last few years.
Oh yeah.
Not a bad season.
I heard our Pacific basketball team is really good back then. In the 2000s or 90s.
Yeah. They have they got the banners hanging in the gym there.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because I know Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen came from the NAIA. Yeah, I found that out and I was like, wow, these high ball NBA players.
See, that's the thing. It's like, 'cause back then, like, they didn't have the technology they have now. Where they don't have like a max press.
Yeah.
Where just everything is right there for scouts, so it's easy to find people. Those guys, pretty much everything was, like D1 was still D1.
Yeah.
But like the disparity between like the level of D1, D2, D3 was a lot more blurred than it is like how defined it is now.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this, huh?
Sorry.
I muted it right when you told me.
Hey, we're back here ready for what should be an entertaining second half. One Viterbo up against the St. Ambrose Fighting Bees here from the Viterbo Outdoor Athletic Complex. The only thing that changes is that Viterbo will be moving right to left and St. Ambrose will be moving left to right here for the second half. Of course, 4-1 the score. A pair of goals by Jakubis Jankowskis and then a goal from Ted Holstein and Joaquin Eichhorn make it 4-0 for Viterbo. One goal put in by Dylan Olendik for the Fightin' Bees, and that is the only goal that they have scored so far in this one. But we said that it was only a matter of time before St. Ambrose scored. They are a very prominent goal-scoring team, the most goals scored from any squad this season in the CCAC. As Polvios Pelodipa, Emilio Sue Gomez, Luis Ferberi, Josh Simon, Gus Stevens, Kai Yoshikane, Matthew Booten, Matthias Magias, Dylan Olendik, Joe Campbell, and Matthew Daly, the subs on. In fact, for Matthew Booten, he comes in as the goalkeeper now. So Yegi's afternoon is done as this ball left loose. Trying to pick it up is Josh Simon. Sure we're able to collect it. But Peter Colenio, Mateo Torres, Ethan Stewart, Guillermo Laborda, Joaquin Eichhorn, Jakubis Jankowskis, Felix Lindemark, Johan Hamstrom, Ted Holstein, Arnaud Perot-Ouillet, and Alvaro Paquet Oliveira, the 11 to start the second half. That name, number 6, Guillermo Laborda, is featured in 4 matches so far this season, all of which on the road. I've not had to call his name here at home. But St. Ambrose looking for 3 goals to draw even here. Of course, talked about it a little bit in those early season matches where non-conference, it bodes well for, as this one played out the back, and it will result in a goal kick here for Booten. Booten making his first appearance this season in goal for St. Ambrose. But as we were saying, the non-conference schedule, not saying it doesn't matter because, plenty of merit in non-conference when it comes to at-large bids and whatnot. You can get, convincing enough wins against good enough schools. So for a squad like St. Ambrose and the way they've handled their non-conference schedule, securing 7 wins and a loss, where they've outscored their opponents by on average 2 or more goals, you're setting yourself up for a pretty good spot. But of course, the easiest way into any sort of national tournament is through a good showing in the conference schedule. Of course, regular season champion and then being a tournament champion. In fact, St. Ambrose has not made the CCAC tournament since 2016. It was their best finish, 4th with 24 points. They lost to Olivet Nazarene in the conference semis as a dangerous opportunity for Viterbos. It's played all the way back to Jankowskis here on the left side. Like to flick it on back to Lindemark. Tries to hit Eichhorn in the far right corner. Played out of bounds, result in a throw-in. But a long time coming, but Chad Holmer in his 6th season as a head coach really got this squad rolling to begin the 2025 season. In comparison to last year for the Fightin' Bees, they did not win their first match until October 22nd. At an 8-1 win versus St. Francis, and they picked up their first win in the very first match of this season. Goes to show you what a year can do, which is a quick turnaround. As, of course, we enter October, only one game left for both sides in the month of October. A college land matchup for Viterbo against Indiana Northwest, and for St. Ambrose, Olivet Nazarene. So here's Jankowskis up the left side into the box. He's taken down. Ball remains loose as Yoshikane able to get to it. Alandik, the goal scorer in this one, all the way from Bettendorf, Iowa. See, that's probably my favorite thing about NAIA soccer in comparison to D3 or D2 is where a lot of these guys come from. You know, Viterbo having guys from Sweden, Lithuania, Central America, and for St. Ambrose, we've said Cyprus, Brazil, Norway, Germany, Spain, New Zealand, all over. Thailand as well, Mexico. It's going down the list. Yoshikane to take this free kick. Trying to cut the Viterbo lead in half here. 7 minutes into the second half. Ball headed into the box. Headed in the box, I should say. Jankowski's trying to break away from Yoshikane. A foul call, however, and a yellow is going to be shown here to Yoshikane. Jankowskis was trying to break forward, and he was grabbed, impeding on a potential opportunity. Kuberlipski here off to my right, the man who helps run the show, No Way, running the camera, does a fine job. He zooms it in and stuff. Also helps me with some of the vernacular as well as some of the positions and how they play and whatnot. He's very insightful. This one going to leave the field to play. Be a throw-in for Olendijk. Now in the box, Josh Simon. Trying to get something, but Viterbo's defense has been spectacular in this one. Jankowski's holding. He breaks forward, tries to chip it on for Hanstrom. Tries to get to it. He's cut off by Gus Stevens. Jankowskis, some open space here. He's looking for a third goal. He's going to keep walking with it, puts it on net, and it's blocked by Booten. After 4 goals given up by Dawson Yegi in the first half, they go to Matt Booten, and a great stop there to prevent the Lithuanian from securing a goal. Would be his third. He gets it back, though. Able to cut through. This shot going to find almost finds the parking lot. Able to turn and fire like that. Well, Jankowskis, he's got 4 goals in his last 3 matches. Had one against Stevens Point, a penalty kick. And then he was able to dispatch one in that late winner against St. Xavier, where Sebastian Ortiz, a minute after Jankowski's 71 and 72nd minute. Jankowskis trying to get it forward to Eichhorn. He's left alone in the box for the time being. He plays it back to Torres. Torres going to cut in now into the box. He's trying to use his speed, flicks it forward. Trying to pick out somebody, can't find anybody. Sandstrom. A little black-heeled flick. Handstrom tries to center it. Can't pick out Paquette Oliveira. A bad tackle there will result in a yellow for the Viterbo defender. That being Felix Lindemark. Played out to Stewart. Gets it back to Perot-Wiet. He's battling with it with Furbyri. Furbyri able to win it. Reigning Offensive Player of the Week in the conference. Get it to the far side here. Shot gonna come forward, and Kaleno able to pounce on it. As McGee's able to turn and fire on his right foot. Yoshikane. Him and Jankowskis here in the early part of the second half and battling. Up that left side on the Viterbo attacking half of the pitch. Yoshikane here to take this free kick. Stewart able to clear it. And out of play. Talk about the all-time record between these two squads. This goes back to the old division that these, or the old conference these two were in. 16, 18, and 3 all-time versus St. Ambrose. St. Ambrose with the lead at 18 wins, 16 losses, and 3 draws between the two. But Viterbo has had some pretty good luck here. 2-0 since joining the CCAC against the Fightin' Bees in their last 2 seasons, joining the conference in 2023. And I would bet money on it. Say that this probably, if these two teams keep playing at the level they're playing, this probably will not be the last time these two see each other this season. Now you look at it, you know, this could be a bit of an outlier match for St. Ambrose. They really turn it on for the rest of the season in conference play, and Viterbo keeps playing this way. I mean, these two could face each other down the line, you know. So right now, these two would be 1-2 in the conference tournament. Of course, only one game, though, played in conference play so far entering today. So a bit too early to say. As Yoshikane tried to turn that one in. Yoshikane able to clip Ethan Stewart, junior defenseman. He's been stellar in this one. Sunter Leal coming on for Dylan Olendik. Trying to flick it forward was Guillermo Laborda. Play to the far side. Here's McGee's. St. Ambrose looking a bit more steady with the ball than they did in the first half. As Leal tries to chip this one into the box. Defended well. Far side, chipped inward. Ball left loose, shot going to be turned on here by Furbyri. It's deflected and result in a corner. Marching over is Joe Campbell to take this one. First corner of the afternoon for St. Ambrose. Prime opportunity to cut that lead in half. 4-1 can make it 4-2. Still a lot of work left to be done for the Fighting Bees as this one into the box and headed away by Paquette Oliveira. Rolls out of the 18-yard box and collected by McGeese. Plays it inward until it's taken away. Here's Jankowskis trying to press forward. Great ball through to Eichhorn. And even better stop there by Leal. Eichhorn remains tough with it, but Leal, those two battling, result in a goal kick. As we mentioned, stick around. The women's squad, they're getting loose over on the practice field. Just behind the dugouts there on the far side from us. Take on Trinity Christian. What should be an entertaining match. The reigning NCCAA national champions and the Trinity Christian Trolls. You ask yourself, well, they play NAIA, but the NCCAA is the National Christian College Athletic Association. It's a totally different league, I guess. St. Ambrose trying to break forward with Sue Gomez here. Sue Gomez, last-ditch effort to try to play that ball forward to Josh Simon. Has it taken away. Played to the near side. Here's Stewart. Stewart has it clipped. Yoshikane into the box. Tries to lay it forward. Ball backheeled flick, and Kaleno unable to get to it, but just drags it wide left. Would have been a devious flick for the second goal for the Fighting Bees. And now we got ourselves a couple of subs for St. Ambrose checking on in. One of them being Miguel Fernandez, playing in his 5th match this season for St. Ambrose. And the other one being Ezekiel Salzi. Senior out of Rosario, Argentina. So here's Hamstrom pressing forward. Played back. Shot going to be turned on here and wide left for Guillermo Laborda. As Booten trying to get it forward to Pelopita, but it's turned over. Able to win it back is Leal for the time being until it's taken away again. Hamstrom tries to fling it to the far side. Able to win it, however, as Torres breaks all the way up the left side now. Trying to get wide. Stops, turns it inward. Able to pick out Acosta. Acosta trying to fling it to the far side to Eichhorn. Able to connect. Gets it back. Plays it down. Here's Laborda. Fires one in the back of the goal. Laborda cashes in his first goal of the 2025 season, and it is now 5-1 Viterbo. Wow. Whew. I believe the assist goes to Eichhorn, and that'll be his second assist of the afternoon. And an offensive masterclass here for Viterbo. put up 5 goals against a very dominant St. Ambrose squad. Now looking for anything to get back into this one as McGeese on the left side tries streaking in. Tough in defense. Torres once more. It's turned over left. Right-footed shot comes in wide right of the net. Miguel Fernandez comes on as an attacking man. A couple of subs on for St. Ambrose, that being Elias Skoglund for Joe Campbell and Charlie Leinert for Kai Yoshikane. At 5-1 Viterbo right now. Kalenio has to come out of the box to kick that one downfield. Racing after it is Eichhorn. Jankowski's trying to get there as well. It's able to get cleared by Booten. Those two crashing down on him. 5 goals, however. Tied for the most goals Viterbo has scored in a match this season. Won 5-0 over Dakota Wesleyan here at home for the final game of August. Played back. Booten almost loses it. And Acosta trying to clean it up. Their largest margin of victory is that 5-0 victory over the Tigers of Dakota Wesleyan. Ken Oliveira tried racing into the box, left it behind him. Now an opportunity here for Fernandez till he has his pocket picked. Ball remains loose. Handstrom. That one kicked out of bounds and it's going to find its way into the bushes over here. Going to be taken by Alil. Tries to throw it in deep. Trying to find Leinert. In the near corner. Has it taken away. Able to pick out Eichhorn for the moment. Daly able to beat him to it. Until Torres is able to collect it. Costa able to make his way to it. Laborda, the most recent goal scorer in this one. As of right now, the only goal scored here in the second half. As Kalenio receives this one. Tries to get it to Handstrom. Has it taken away. Pressing is Pelopita. Now on his left foot is Skoglund. Divs it out to McGeese on the far side. Able to get past his defender, Imperowiet. Tries to get one into the box. A little miscommunication as Kalenio will pick it up. Fernandez and Solzi both there for it. Both of them I think thought that the other one was going to take the shot once it came to both of their feet. As Viterbo looking to remain undefeated against St. Ambrose since joining the CCAC 2 seasons ago. The longest win streak for Viterbo against St. Ambrose was 7 wins at the turn of the century, 1997 to 2001, and then immediately following it with the longest losing streak to St. Ambrose, where St. Ambrose racked off 9 wins between 2002 and 2008. .22 minutes remain here in the second half. Viterbo with a comfortable 5-1 lead. Got a couple players tying their cleats, and we'll be back to play here. Torres heads this one straight up in the air. Comes down to Acosta. Now trying to race forward with it is Sue Gomez on the far side until it's taken away by Torres. Ball played long forward. As a train rumbles on by in the distance back there. Played out on the far side by Skoglund. Couple of subs set to check on in for Viterbo. Sitting here in the 71st minute of the match. About 10 minutes ago, Guillermo Laborda able to dispatch one in the back of the net. A great strike from him to make it a 5-1 contest. The Fighting Bees have held possession, I'd say, a little bit better here in the second half, but have been unable to find the back of the net. Unlucky, says no way. Well, Ronmel Alfaro back in for Mateo Torres. Jane Weffel for Jakubis Jankowskis. Ricardo Roncani on for Matthias Megias for the Fighting Bees here. Came on in the 69th minute. Most recently. Throw in deep, headed away. Trying to play it to midfield until a foul is called. Sure, we got a full schedule of CCAC matches going on today. Give you all the updates from what else is happening around the conference. As we don't have any scores from anywhere else. It says that Indiana Northwest and Judson are going at it, as well as St. Xavier and Governor State, but we have no scoring updates from either of those contests. Calumet, Holy Cross at 4 o'clock, St. Francis and Olivet Nazarene. Both those games getting started at 4 o'clock from Notre Dame, Indiana, as well as Bourbonnais, Illinois. Viterbo able to clear this one out all the way forward as Eichhorn trying to race after it. Headed down for the moment by Daly. Eichhorn able to beat him to it at the last moment, resulting in a throw-in for Viterbo. "17 minutes left to play here from the Outdoor Athletic Complex. Viterbo up by 4 goals. They've scored 5. Ball thrown in, trying to find Eichhorn immediately. Unable to pick him out, however. Trying to get to the near side as Leinard fighting with Larson for it. Emil Larson. He was the one change from the starting 11 from Wednesday's match to today. Trying to find a man on the far side. Great ball flicked forward by Holstein. Has this one laid for it. Paquette Oliveira blocked at the last moment by Hunter Leal. Two more subs set to check on in here. These for St. Ambrose, 1 for Viterbo. Here in the 75th minute. Corner to be taken by Paquette Oliveira. As Luis Verbeiri back on for Miguel Fernandez. Josh Simon back on for Ezekiel Solzi. For the Fighting Bees. Cross comes in and can't pick anybody out. Alfaro able to retain it. Luis Torres Enriquez on for Joaquin Eichhorn. Played out of bounds. Will be a throw in here for Weffel. Trying to break forward here. Ball played out of bounds. Last touch by Luis Torres Enriquez. It's Matthew Booten. Punts this one away. For him, since coming on, has only faced 1 shot on goal. He's made 2 shots on goal. 1 save and 1 goal allowed. If you're following along the statistics on the official website, they not marked the next goal. That one's going to end up in the parking lot. I'm sure it's one of those things where since the clock continues to run, they'll put it in at the end of the game that Laborda scored that goal. So it will not say on the official stat sheet until the conclusion of this one. There's a corner to be taken here. Paquette Oliveira floats this one in. Can't pick out anybody. Comes all the way back to Hamstrom. Till it's cleared out. St. Ambrose trying to push forward here. Numbers coming from behind for Skoglund. He continues to march forward, tries to flick it forward. Viterbo able to clear that one out for the time being. Has a foul by Torres Enriquez. Takes down a Fighting Bee. I think that one just elbow may have caught him in the side. But Matthew Daly is back up. He's all right. A free kick here. Final 13 minutes of this match. Two more subs for Viterbo set to enter into the fray. Ball played forward to Skoglund. Tilt's taken away, and now Viterbo with some room to run here up the left side. Hamstrom. My apologies. That's Emma Larson pressing forward, able to flick it on to Acosta. Tries to get to Perowiet. Back to Larson here on the left side. Tries to push forward for Alfaro. Great ball to him inside the box. Tries to sneak one past Booten. Booten pounces on it. Immediately looks to the far side of the pitch, trying to find his man in Hunter Leal. Trio of substitutes on now for Viterbo. Appears that Holstein is one of them off, as well as Sebastian Acosta and Perowiet. And one change for St. Ambrose, the man coming off being Polvios Pelopita. Narnum Kongsampaisa on for the Fighting Bees. Andre Ketsuk, Diego Idrobo, and Aiden Greer. As Weffel fights for it, it's taken away. St. Ambrose pressing forward with it is for Byrie. Keeps possession of it. Tries cutting in on his left. He's cut off. Ketsuk tough in defense. Tries to sneak this one through. A result in a corner. I believe it was last touch by the helping hand of Wafel. Him and Ketsuk battling with for Byrie. Another opportunity here for Elias Skoglund to whip this one in. On the right foot, try to pick out ahead, and Caleno reaches up. The only man who can use his hands, and he'll collect it. Turbo looking to break immediately. Paquette Oliveira now, battling with some defenders. Flicks it forward. Into the box, trying to cut in is Alfaro. Chips it, trying to find somebody running through there, but can't. Well, nobody was there for him. Paquette Oliveira. Cuts up on the right side. Turbo able to retain possession. Here's Hamstrom. Whole lot of room to move here. Slicks it to the near side. Here's Larson. A little bit behind him. Goes back and receives it. Ball played in. Alfaro. He's going to turn and fire right at Booten. Able to get his mitts on it. Down to the final 10 minutes here in the 81st. Last 9, I should say. To the near side to Leinert. Tries to sneak it forward, blocked away. He's able to keep it though. Now flicks it on to Leal. Up the right side. Trying to pick somebody out. Feeds it with the left foot. Played a little bit too far behind his intended target for Byrie. Here goes Torres Enriquez up the pitch. He's taken down. A foul called. Foul called against Luis for Byrie. For Byrie. Turbo perhaps looking for one more here. Had plenty of opportunities in the first half to collect a 5th goal. Now they're looking for a 6th. This one chipped up. Alfaro, the intended target, skips all the way to the near side. Alfaro remains tough going after it against Leal, and Leal able to clear it. Goes out of bounds. Larson set to throw this one in. couple more subs checking on in. Joe Campbell returns for St. Ambrose, and joining the fray, here's Pablo Orrego Zapata. Whole host of subs on for Viterbo and both sides. As Larson throws this one in. Immediately finds Paquette Oliveira. He'll elect to play it back. Gets all the way through Weffel. Have to clean it up. Tries to sling it forward. Able to pick out his intended target. Till a foul is called. But Orrego Zapata comes on for Guillermo Laporta. Able to strike for the lone goal here in the second half from either side. It's Josh Simon. Tries dragging this one through. Tries to flick it up. Can't pick out his man. Waiting there for it was Leinard. Saved from going out of bounds, and it'll result in a goal kick here for Viterbo. 8 minutes left to play from the Outdoor Athletic Complex. Revving the engine and driving on by. Of course, the highway right behind us here. Caleno. Fighting for it in the midfield is Zapata. Breaks it forward, chasing after it. Here is Enriquez, one-on-one. The flag is up, however. And the saving grace for Booten, as he was able to put that one past him. But offsides on Torres Enrique. But just counting down the minutes now, Viterbo's got this one well within their grasp. Take a miracle for the Fighting Bees to get back into this one. Caleno slings this one forward, rolls all the way through to Gus Stevens. He's been great defensively in this one. This ball comes loose, but the flag goes up. Josh Simon trying to get on the right end of that one. 6 minutes left to play. As we said, it's not the only soccer match going on here this afternoon. Following this one, a contest between the women's side, Viterbo against Trinity Christian. Another CCAC bout as Enrique lays this one on. Trying to pick out Zapata. Zapata trying to find Alfaro. Ball remains loose until now it's cleared away by Stevens. Far back is Ketsuk. Finding Larson. To Paquette Oliveira. Pushes forward with it. Leads it on the right side. Larson breaking forward with it. Larson again with another touch. Tries to feed forward to Hamstrom. Just outside the 18-yard box. Great slide there. Take that one away by Charlie Leinard. Got a trio of subs for the Fighting Bees and one more for Viterbo. Getting everybody their reps here late. Get you the names once we know them. Well, in the distance, look like an airplane is coming into land. So much happening, you know. We said Oktoberfest weekend. We got trains. We got all sorts of modes of travel passing through this western Wisconsin mecca. Be a free kick here for Viterbo as Pablo Orrego Zapata stands over this one until he's going to give way to Andriy Ketsut. All the way from the country of Ukraine. Take this one, perhaps one more to tuck this one in goodnight. It's going to be directly taken right at Booten as he's able to knock it down. Trying to catch him off guard, perhaps. Ball played as far back and taken away by Aiden Greer. Now St. Ambrose in possession with Kangsapaisen. Blocked away. Ball tried to be fed forward. About 7 minutes left to play here from Viterbo. Offside flag is up, but Kaleni's on top of it. So if Fernandez was able to get a foot on, of course those subs, Fernandez, Solzi, and Medrano back on for the Fighting Bees. Andriy Ketsuk, my apologies, Tanner Hall on for Johan Hamstrom. He's looking for one more here. Ball laid forward. Here's Enrique. Feeds it to Alfaro. Cuts in on his right. Deflected. Kept out for the time being. They'll try again. If at first you don't succeed. Ronmel Alfaro sticks with it. Dispatches his second goal of the campaign. And this one is all but over from the Outdoor Athletic Complex. 6 goals. Most goals scored for Viterbo this season. And the most goals let in by St. Ambrose this year. That's right. He did. Defender for St. Ambrose able to block the first one. Just so happened to fall right back to Alfaro. He says, well, I'll take it again. This time I won't miss it. Six to 1 Viterbo. And a statement victory over St. Ambrose here this afternoon. Of course, I'll eat my words. They put in 5 goals, or maybe even 6, in the next 3 minutes. But as it sits right now, it is all Viterbo. Of course, looking ahead, St. Ambrose, as we said, their next match on Tuesday against Olivet Nazarene. Wrap up the month as this one flicked on and over the crossbar. Kaleni's had to do some work. Wouldn't necessarily say he's had a tough time in goal here this afternoon. A lot of those balls he's able to get to with ease. Outside of the 1 goal by Dylan Olendik in the 21st minute for St. Ambrose, which cut the lead in half. Totally different ball game at that point. They're looking for more again. Alfaro stays onside. He's 1-on-1, and now the flag goes up. Perhaps a little bit of time waste in punting that one directly at the metal fencing. Upset with himself. Down to the final minute 30 now. Just fighting for that ball. And almost able to win it as Aiden Greer. Regardless, he won it. There's a foul called against the defender on him. But a beautiful 74-degree day. A couple clouds in the sky have poked out. We're down to the final minute here from the Viterbo Outdoor Athletic Complex. Perhaps one more chance here. Enriquez fires this one way wide right. And Booten will ask for his men to march downfield. He's going to send this one deep here to try to ascertain a goal here late, but stays in the Viterbo half. Torres Enrique has this one go out of bounds. Final 20 seconds. Throw in. Final 10 seconds. And one final touch, and that'll do it. Ron Connie steps on the ball to end it. The final whistle sounds, and a massive statement victory for the Viterbo men's side. Able to dispatch 6 goals past the Fightin' Bees in this one to pick up their second conference victory of the season. For St. Ambrose, it's only their second loss overall. But, you know, the matches mean a little bit more when it comes to conference play. They fall to 1-1 in conference as Viterbo stands alone now 2-0. Take a look at the goal scoring in this one. Joaquin Eichhorn in the 3rd minute, assisted by Jankowskis, who would begin his big day with that one. Then Ted Holstein, a header from a corner from Sebastian Acosta in the 6th minute, making it 2-0. Then Dylan Olendeek, a little bit of fire for the Fightin' Bees. He'd put one in on his left foot from distance, making it 2-1 in the 21st minute. Then Jankowskis in mere minutes. 2 goals, one assisted by Joaquin Eichhorn, the other by Johan Hamstrom in the 24th and 25th minute to make it 4-1. Then, and will not show currently, but Guillermo Laborda in the 62nd minute puts one in the back of the net, makes it 5-1, and then Ronmel Alfaro to end it with a 87th minute goal, making it 6-1 Viterbo as they pick up the victory in this one. For St. Ambrose, they're back at home against Olivet Nazarene on Tuesday. Wish them safe travels on their way back to Davenport, Iowa. For Viterbo, they're back here at home on Tuesday against Indiana Northwest in a big CCAC bout there. They look to remain perfect in conference play. For Viterbo, that's now their 3rd win in a row and their 5th win in 6 matches. Pretty good form going forward. So that being said, we've got a women's match coming up in about, well, it says 10 minutes on the clock. I don't believe that's correct. But if it is, we'll see you here very shortly. If you're just sticking around for the men's game, glad you could join us. For that being said, I'm Cooper Lipsky for No Way, our rules analyst, camera operator, and the reason I'm on here, I suppose. We say good night, so long. We hope to see you again sometime soon here on the V-Hawk Sports Network. 6-1, the final, Viterbo with the win.